At Magnify Learning, our real goal is to help you live your why. As teachers, you did not get into this just because you needed a gig. You got into this because it's a passion. There's purpose behind it. You want to see your learners have these light bulb moments. So how do we do that for learners? How do we help them live their why? How do we help them find their purpose? Welcome to PBL Simplified, where we simplify your PBL need-to-knows to simplify the PBL process for your classroom. We want you to live your why. We've got stickers, we've got posters, we've got mugs, we've got all these things around living your why because we want you to be in your sweet spot where your skills, your passion, and your role align so you can fulfill the purpose that you've been put on earth for. Well, we want to do the same thing for our learners, don't we? And we've found that project-based learning is the way to do that. And really the way you do that is when we start solving real-world problems. As we become problem solvers, we start to find our purpose. We find that thing that lights our fire, gets us excited. And sure, engagement goes up, but ultimately, we want our learners to develop their why. Hopefully you found this in college. As you were taking your teaching courses, you were just saying, I'm fired up, I'm motivated, and then you got into a classroom and you're like, this is awesome, I can't wait to do this all the time. I'm going to inspire youth to find things that they've never seen before. And your classroom should really be the same way. Your kids are showing up because they need to get your content credits, but that's not where the inspiration comes from. The content is a vehicle that takes them into the real world to solve these problems so that they can find their passion, find out what they're excited about. Maybe it's technology, maybe it's working with the older generation. Whatever it is, it's probably not compound sentences or slope-intercept form, right? That's not what gets most of us excited. It's the application of those things. And don't get me wrong, the content's super important. I might not be fired up about compound sentences, but then when I write a compound sentence and I learn about the history of the Great Depression, and then I write a letter to a senior at a senior home, and they write back, and then I write back again, and they write back again, that gets me fired up, right? We're building relationships. We're finding out some passions that we have inside of us that maybe we didn't know before. Side note, I love intergenerational projects. Double side note, let's put the question of the day right here. Why do you teach? What is your why? Would you put it down in the comments, please? Spread that PBL love. Spread the passion by talking about your why. But how do we transfer that to students? So the way we do that is your content. Look at it as the vehicle. Now, you have to teach your standards. We're not advocating that you don't, but those standards are a vehicle to the real world. Those standards are labeled as such, like your power standards, because they are used in the real world. Somebody uses slope-intercept form, and you, algebra teacher, are the person to connect it to the real world for us. But don't do it on your own. You want to connect to a community partner. Community partners are the key to raising authenticity in your classroom. And we'll link in the description, a link to the community partner video. Because getting a community partner in your room completely changes things. Now your learners are looking to say, oh, maybe I could be an engineer. Oh, maybe I could be a bank CEO. They start to see themselves in those positions in a way they haven't before because they hadn't seen those people or talked with them before. And your content can bring those people in. So when you look to inspire kids, like sure, maybe it's a TED Talk or a last lecture at the end of the year, which I highly recommend, but daily you can be looking at your lesson plans and your content as a way to ignite passions as well. And if you need a positive message, you can always look to Adroit Online, who does our intro and outro music. They do in-person and virtual assemblies, and they are awesome, guaranteed. I really hope that these videos help you to engage your learners, tackle boredom, and transform your classroom.